Arresting a Democratic intern allegedly posting the personal information of at least 3 Republican senators online. It happened during last week's Kavanaugh hearing. Fox News learned police that are now investigating at least 2 more incidents, one of them targeting Senator Rand Paul. Jason Chaffetz, former U.S. Congressman, Fox News contributor. How you doing? Good morning to you. How's an intern
Good morning,
do this?
Bill. Good morning.
27-year-old Jackson Costco? How's that happen?
It doesn't make sense because an unpaid intern working for 3 different senators doesn't smell right on the surface. But what's fascinating about this case is there are 7 different charges. Everything from identity theft, second-degree burglary, witness tampering. Where does witness tampering come into this? This is more than just stealing, Senator Mike Lee's personal information and posting it up to Wikipedia. There's something more here.
Well, I don't get it. Did the intern get the information or did someone give it to him? There's your question.
Well, again, I'm looking at the charges just like everybody else, but it sounds a little bit more sophisticated in the fact that how quickly they arrested this person and charged this person. And again, with 7 different charges out there, burglary, those types of things, it really does make it sound like it's a bit more sophisticated and widespread, because now you see Senator Rand Paul is also having issues. Don't know if it's tied to this particular case, but that would make at least 4 senators.
Okay, and they're all, well, we'll try and get to the bottom of that. Meanwhile, what is a SCIF? What is this place in the U.S. Capitol where these senators can now go and look at the FBI report? You've been there. Describe it.
Yeah, it's a bunker. If you were smack dab in the middle of the Capitol, think of the dome, and you went down 3 or 4 floors, then there is literally a fortress. It's impenetrable to electronic surveillance. When you walk in, even as a senator or a member of the House of Representatives, you have to give up all of your electronics. You can't go in there with your iWatch. You can't go in there with your iPhone or whatever phone you might have. It put into a small room. They watch you. It'll be interesting to see if these senators are allowed to take notes. Sometimes you can and sometimes you don't. And usually they have somebody sitting there watching you read the material.
Interesting. So no pictures. So it's all extemporaneous if the leaks get out.
Supposedly. Yes.
I expect to get leaks. I would imagine you would too. It's Washington, D.C. after all.
Yeah, I mean, people can read this information. It isn't necessarily classified because they're not talking about national security secrets, what has been, sources and methods. I'm sure senators will start to come out of there because they're only allowed one at a time in alternating fashion to go and read it. And I'm sure people come out and give their own take. And, of course, the Democrats already have their talking point saying, well, it wasn't thorough enough. We need more time, more interviews. But that's not what the Senate set up.
I know you've kept in touch with your colleagues there in Washington, House side and Senate side. And I think about last Friday when, the record scratched in the afternoon and Senator Jeff Flake said, hang on, let's go ahead and give it another week. What's the harm? Here was that moment from last Friday.
I can only say that I would be only comfortable moving forward on the floor. I'll move it out of committee, but I will only be comfortable moving on the floor until the FBI has done more investigation than they have already.
Remember, in that key line, he said up to a week. Tomorrow's 1 week. What does Flake do? What do the others do? Does Kavanaugh get confirmed?
Well, I was encouraged that Jeff Flake voted it out of committee, and I would anticipate that he would vote in favor of cloture, which is the important vote where they got to get past that 50-vote threshold. And part of the excuse here for the extra week was that it's tearing the committee and it's tearing the country apart, and that's why we need more time. And I would argue that had the exact opposite effect. It's creating more division in our country. Instead of the Senate doing its job and making a definitive decision, it's their job to do advice and consent. Not to throw it back to the executive branch saying, hey, give us some more input after 6 FBI investigations. It's almost as if they need a little civics lesson. It's their job. And Ms. Ford was given every opportunity to say everything she possibly could say. So now it's time to vote.
It's almost crunch time, as you said there. Jason Chaffetz, thank you, sir, for coming.
Give us some more input after 6 FBI investigations. It's almost as if they need a little civics lesson. It's their job. And Ms. Ford was given every opportunity to say everything she possibly could say. So now it's time to vote.
It's almost crunch time, as you said there. Jason Chaffetz, thank you, sir, for coming back today. Thanks.
Eagle-eyed reporters caught Sheila Jackson Lee looking nervous as she approached Ford's attorney Bromwich, and then slipped him what appeared to be an envelope. Bromwich seemed to know exactly what Jackson Lee is going to do. As he shakes her hand, she slips him what appears to be an envelope. We cannot say for absolute certainty what this envelope contained, but Bromwich seemed to be expecting it, and Jackson Lee looked nervous handing it off. Bromwich immediately puts it into his inner coat pocket. They exchange no further words. It only lasts 16 seconds, but what this Trump-hating attorney says a few minutes later makes this a very big deal. Simply, what was passed were unopened stationery notes to counsel for Dr. Ford from women who wanted to enter the hearing room, but were not allowed to enter the hearing room, according to the Congresswoman's press office. Bromwich proved he is dirty by not informing Blasey Ford that she did not have to appear at an open hearing. CNS News reports, in the hearing, when Ford was asked if anyone, including her lawyers, had relayed to her the committee's offer to visit her in California, Ford refused to answer as her lawyer objected. Bromwich left his firm to take this case, and now he is out of a job. Do we really think he wasn't going to get some type of kickback? Well, as Judge Brett Kavanaugh started his testimony today, he just blew Dr. Ford's claims away, along with excoriating the Democrats. He didn't come to play. He has his game face on, and by what we can tell, Bromwich just lost a huge case. Do you think he did this out of the kindness of his heart and quit his job to work for free?
Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.